Sue's handling Eric Bloom from the Blue Oyster Cult.
But we're going to go live on the air. Okay?
Do you hear that? This is how live radio works, kids.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric. You're on the air with 96.5 CTG, the original 70s soundtrack. How you doing, buddy?
All right. Where are you guys located?
We are located on the east coast of Virginia in the Norfolk, Virginia market, just south of Baltimore.
Oh, we used to play that area. We used to play the Scope.
Oh, yeah, way back in the day. Hampton Coliseum, I think, was probably on your itinerary.
Oh, Hampton Road? Sure, definitely.
Yep.
Well, Sue told you, and I'm sorry I didn't prepare you for this because I know you're between flights and everything, and I didn't want to give you more than you could manage. It's hard enough getting around an airport anyway. But we normally get a celebrity bumper. Do you mind if I feed you a little dialogue, and we'll cut it out of the interview and roll it on the air at some future date?
You want to do it now or at the end?
Yeah, we can do it now because I'll forget at the end. I have ADD. I lived in the 70s. I have short-term memory loss.
Hold on. I'm going to write it down so I get it right.
No, you don't have to worry about that. I'll feed you a piece, then feed you another piece, and then
okay.
I just cut it together later. Just like doing a guitar solo.
Okay.
Say, hi, this is Eric Bloom of Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay, hold on. Hi, this is Eric Bloom of Blue Oyster Cult.
And you're listening to the original 70s soundtrack.
And you're listening to the original 70s soundtrack.
On 96.5 CTG.
On 95 CTG.
96.5. Take two. On
96.5?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
On 96.5 CTG.
On 96.5 CTG.
Awesome. Thank you, dude. Hopefully I didn't step on you too much there at the beginning. But
That's right.
Yeah, normally we get a script to the people, but I knew you're traveling, and I didn't want to burden you with and stress you out anymore.
You don't have to be worried about that.
Because you probably already had a body scan because you're a sketchy-looking dude.
You never know.
Do you take the...
I might have a foil-wrapped cucumber in my pants.
There you go. It drives the women mad that we've got armadillos in our trousers. So do you take your sunglasses off when you fly? I guess they make you, don't they?
When you go through security, I think I've been asked once to take my glasses off, maybe. But once in a while.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, for the kids at home that don't know, I don't know how much time you've got. How much time have you got?
I got a while.
Okay, so you're trapped in the airport with nothing better to do than to call.
I just had a DQ shake. It was awesome.
Ooh.
All right. I wonder how many Weight Watchers points in that. That's what I'm working on.
That doesn't count for you.
But anyway, for the kids that don't understand or they're not into Blue Oyster Cult or don't know the story, I know you guys sort of transformed from a band called Soft White Underbelly into the Blue Oyster Cult with the help of your sort of manager and handler, Sandy Perlman.
Well, you really want to go back 40 years ago and talk about that?
No, I just wanted to make sure that people gave some context. And, of course, just so people know, the Blue Oyster Cult started I think in the early 70s, and you guys sort of, the trajectory reminded me a little bit of Kiss, which I know you guys toured with back then, in that you guys had 3 studio albums that sort of each one built on the previous one and had classic, to this day, classic Blue Oyster Cult songs on them. But then what really sort of put you on the map was that 4th album, and like Kiss, it was a live album, On Your Feet or On Your Knees.
Kiss's first gig of all time was our opening act. They opened for us.
Isn't that crazy? That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you guys were known for, being a live band that certainly wasn't going to get easily blown off the stage because, you did a lot of production on tour back then. Some groundbreaking stuff too, right?
Yes, we had the first touring laser system. And I guess you see those effects all over TV these days, but in those days, it was not quite so easy to carry around.
I bet not. To limit the size of venues you could go in and run that stuff, or could you run them at every show?
Oh, well, they were not meant to be flown on airplanes, and it was water-cooled, and so every venue had to have, huge hoses and cooling systems, and when they broke, it was $6,000 to repair. It was not exactly too practical.
Wow.
So we did it for about a year and a half at 77, 78, and then stopped doing it.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, I just got distracted real quick. So that was On Your Feet and On Your Knees, and of course, for the kids at home, they know they probably know you best from Don't Fear the Reaper. And it's funny to me. Is it fair to say that you would probably be properly considered the primary lead singer of Blue Oyster Cult at this point?
Well, Buck wrote the 3 hits,
right?
And so he sang them because he wrote them. And but I sang the majority of the rest of it.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, people don't know, and again, not to beat a dead horse, but, like so many of my favorite bands, you guys shared vocals a lot. I mean, if you go down and break down, it wasn't just like one or two guys, because, I mean, I think Joe Bouchard sang some. I think Alan Lanier had a couple of lead vocals over the years.
Yeah, well, mostly when people wrote a song at home, they wanted to sing it themselves.
Right.
So that's the way it always was.
So you guys were kind of like a hard rock Eagles in that regard. But like I say, most people that are just casual music listeners, they sort of think of Buck Dharma when they think of Blue Oyster Cult. But of course, I'm a little deeper fan, so I always think of you first.
Well, I am the original lead vocalist, but Buck wrote Reaper and he wrote Burning for You, so he sang those songs.
Did you? So you're on the road now with Blue Oyster Cult. And I know that you and Buck are still in the band, and I think Rudy Sarzo is in the band.
Rudy Sarzo.
Yeah, Sue totally wants to have his baby. If you could pass that word on.
Well, she's not the only one. I wouldn't care to have. I wouldn't mind having a few children with her myself.
Yeah, he's a handsome man and a good bass player too. But so when you're on the road these days, and I'm a guitar player, so I'm a little bit of a groupie for the signature series that you were doing. Are you still doing that?
If somebody orders a custom model, I'll be glad to have it made. It's ericbloomguitars.com.
Yeah, and just so the kids at home know, and correct me if I'm wrong at any point in here, just jump in and correct me. It was, I think the series was, each one was like a painted rendition of a classic song that you had written.
A classic song from the VOC catalog.
Okay, gotcha. Not necessarily.
Yeah, there was a Reaper guitar. There was a
Godzilla,
monster. I couldn't call it Godzilla or get sued.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
I called it a monster guitar, and then I had a Black Blade guitar that was from the Michael Moorcock books. So I had all kinds of different artwork. There was a Harvester of Eyes guitar.
Beautiful.
Do you have somebody in particular that does the artwork for that, or just?
Yes, I use a very well-known airbrush artist in California who does guitars for a living.
Because
he's awesome.
That's my art. I don't play music, but I like to draw and paint. So when I saw that, I was like, "Wow, they're really cool."
The guy's great. Yeah.
Very nice.
And
his name is Dan Lawrence, and you could Google him and find out his background. Really good.
And I think the company that sort of is underneath that's actually making the guitars, manufacturing for you, aren't they the same ones that did the logo guitar, the hook and cross logo?
Not exactly. It's an imported guitar, very good quality imported guitar, and the logo shaped guitar that I play on occasion is done from scratch from a luthier who lives in New Jersey at a company called Pastore Music. He's still there. I think he's got to be in his 80s.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Cool.
Hold on just a second, okay? I hate to do this. I got to do this, so
No,
they'll put
you
me in
don't.
jail. I don't. We're gonna hold
go
on there.
ahead.
Yeah, I got to. We have the legal ID here. We got to fire. Take 5 seconds.
Okay.
This is 96.5 WCTG, Chincoteague, Pocomoke, Snow Hill. 96.5 WCTG.
Yeah,
Sorry, Eric.
I don't know if you could hear that or not, but yeah, that's in the FCC requires that we identify once an hour, so we were a little bit behind on that. So
Hold on, I'll plug in my phone in.
So you guys on Blue Oyster Cult, you guys are on tour now, is that correct?
What's that?
You guys are on tour right as we speak, right?
Yeah, we played in Minnesota yesterday, and we're playing in Pennsylvania next Saturday, and we're traveling back from Minnesota today.
Wow, awesome. So when you guys, we have a lot of people on the show over the last few months, and we've talked about how the music industry has changed, the whole distribution model has changed, and we've talked about how economically things have changed, whereas tours actually make the monies now, or they can, and no one's selling records anymore. But accepting that as sort of being the norm, are you finding that now that you're on tour, what are the crowds like now? How have they changed in the last even 10 years?
I don't think our crowds have changed very much. We've always been known as a live band, so that's what we do the most, and we still tour a lot, and for us, of course, we're a classic rock act. We get some of our original fans who are 40s and 50s, and then we get some of their children, and we get just people who are just discovering us, and it's all good.
Yeah, we had the Doobie Brothers on the last show, and they're saying the same thing. And I'm right in that target demographic. I'm 45, and I would be right in your crowd of original fans. But, Yeah, we are hearing that, and it's encouraging that younger people are going to the shows because they're really not getting a chance to see like real rock and roll these days. Because certainly going and seeing Lady Gaga show is not really rock and roll or the Black Eyed Peas.
Don't put Lady Gaga down. I love her.
I do too, to a point. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't know.
it's really cool to see the scope of your influence through all the years. Even from starting out, like there was nothing like that at the time, and how you've just brought it through the years, and you're still doing it.
Yeah, we are. It's funny because I have my own board on ericbloom.net, and it's which is basically just hardcore BOC fans.
Yeah.
And I watched the live. It was the Idol final,
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and Lady Gaga was on that live,
Right.
and she was great. And I put it on my board that I said she's won me over, and everyone started flaming me.
Well, and I go back and forth on Gaga. It depends on the day, the time.
Well,
the week,
if I was running her career, I would be. I think she's a little too accessible, and she's everywhere, and that pisses people off. I don't know why, but
yeah,
but it's.
over.
I saw her on Letterman. I mean, she went head to head with Dave and handled it very well.
Yeah. She does.
I think she's very smart. She's an industry, and I give her a lot of respect.
No doubt. Yeah, and she's selling a lot of records right now. She's doing numbers we haven't seen in years. So maybe that.
Yeah, you were just saying nobody sells records, and I was going to say, how about Lady Gaga?
Yeah,
$1 million in the first week.
Yeah, it's a short list, but yeah, she's moving units like I say we haven't seen in a while, and I'm hoping that there's a coattail effect that they'll get people to start buying music again and stop stealing music, which just drives me insane, completely insane.
Well, it reminds me when I was an Alice Cooper fan and like 1970 or 71, and went to see him play. It just blew me away, and I feel not that Lady Gaga is like blows me away, but I just think she's incorporated a lot of what came before her in a very unique and interesting way, and she really works hard. I also like the fact that she's just a great singer.
Yeah, and she's obviously got songwriting chops and skills, and like I say, on the right day, I'm a Gaga fan. But anyway, Eric, we've got I'm seeing I'm getting motioned. The producer is motioning me there, but we have some things we got to kind of wrap up. But look,
Okay.
We loved having you on here. We love Blue Oyster Cult. We've been hitting the Blue Oyster Cult hard tonight. We're on the air from coast to coast, and we'd love to have you back sometime.
Anytime we'd be out there, and anybody who's listening anywhere, just go to blueoystercult.com and you can see our touring schedule.
Cool.
And I'm at ericbloom.net. I'm on Facebook, and we're all very social media wise.
Yeah.
And the band's out there working. Come see us.
Great.
Awesome. Well, it's gonna be a great summer, Eric. You have happy travels and be safe, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, take care, dude. All right, well, we're going to get right back into the music with the Eagles here on 96.5. That was Eric Bloom of Blue Oyster Cult right here on 96.5 CTG.